If you're watching this on History Reborn Alive, hit that like button and subscribe right at the start, because what you're about to hear isn't the usual recycled list of historical blunders. These aren't funny stories told for entertainment. These are cautionary events that shaped nations, collapsed empires, triggered wars, and destroyed the careers of people who should have known better. For serious historians and survival-minded viewers, understanding these moments isn't about ridicule. It's about studying the exact points where arrogance, misinformation, stubbornness, or pure incompetence change the course of history. When you know how these failures worked, you're better equipped to understand how poor judgment operates in real time and how to avoid repeating these same patterns in leadership, business, crisis management, or even in your personal life. For the next few minutes, we're dissecting the 11 biggest idiots in world history, not to mock, but to analyze, learn, and extract practical lessons that still matter today. Nicholas II wasn't stupid in the academic sense. His failure came from a stubborn refusal to adapt. As the Russian Empire modernized too slowly, he ignored political reform, underestimated revolutionary movements, and mishandled World War I with catastrophic incompetence. The lesson here is, well, brutally simple. Leadership without flexibility is a liability. In your own life or career, pay attention to shifting conditions. If the data changes, your approach must change with it. A rigid leader is, frankly, a doomed leader. Napoleon built an empire through strategic brilliance, but his 1812 invasion of Russia exposed his fatal flaw, unrestrained ambition without logistical reality. He marched in without supplies, winter gear, or an exit plan. For anyone studying strategy today, military or business, the takeaway is to never assume past success guarantees future victory. Always pressure test your plan. If you can't survive the worst-case scenario, you're not ready. At Little Bighorn, Custer rejected multiple warnings about the size of the Lakota and Cheyenne forces. He assumed numerical superiority without verification. That assumption cost him his command and his life. The practical lesson is timeless. Information you don't like is often the information you need most. When planning anything serious, an expedition, a project, an investment, build your decisions on verified facts, not ego or wishful thinking. The infamous point deer, call it a horse incident, wasn't just foolish, it exposed a system where truth had no place. Zhao Gao's manipulation and the emperor's acceptance of absurdity accelerated the collapse of the Qin dynasty. Whenever you're surrounded by people who only tell you what you want to hear, you're in danger. Encourage dissent, welcome correction, and build systems where truth is rewarded, not punished. So, a crusade that was meant for the Holy Land, well, it ended up sacking Christian Constantinople instead. Quite the detour, if you ask me. Poor planning, unpaid debts, and a fair bit of political manipulation turned what should have been a unified military mission into, honestly, a chaotic attack on the wrong target. The lesson here is actually pretty straightforward. If you don't control your financing and alliances, you simply don't control your mission. In any modern project, you've got to keep your objectives aligned with your resources, or the entire effort can be hijacked. Simple as that. Pizarro's short-term victory created long-term instability. By executing Atahualpa, he removed the one figure who could have unified the region under Spanish control with minimal resistance. It's a reminder that eliminating your opponent isn't always the smartest option. Sometimes the structure they maintain is more valuable than the victory you think you're taking. After Zheng He's voyages, Ming officials destroyed shipyards and banned large-scale maritime activity out of fear and conservatism. This single act erased China's naval advantage for centuries. On a personal level, never destroy a capability just because you don't immediately need it. Preserve your tools, skills, and connections. You never know when they'll become critical. Whether myth or, misinterpreted history, the lesson remains: blind trust is dangerous. Always audit what you allow inside your system, whether that's software, allies, business partners, or even, personal relationships. If something seems too convenient, investigate before accepting. Marcos believed, that loyalty could be bought indefinitely. He ignored public unrest, economic decline, and, the limits of authoritarian control. Any survivalist or historian should recognize the core principle systems collapse when leadership believes it's untouchable. Always maintain situational awareness and honestly adapt when pressure rises. France built a fortress for the last war, not the next one. Germany simply went around it. The practical takeaway is crucial. Do not prepare for yesterday's threats. Prepare for tomorrow's. This applies to cybersecurity, financial planning, physical preparedness, and, geopolitics. The Aztecs allowed mythological interpretation to overshadow military strategy. While Cortés exploited alliances, technology, and political fractures, Moctezuma hesitated. When you face a real threat, superstition cannot replace analysis. Clear thinking is, a survival skill. These 11 cases aren't just stories about history's biggest idiots. They're lessons in judgment, preparedness, and the consequences of ignoring reality. If you want more deep-dive historical breakdowns delivered with this same level of seriousness, make sure you like this video, share it with other history enthusiasts, and subscribe to History Reborn Alive so you never miss another episode.